Okay, so let's go ahead and start our conversation today about AI, especially when it comes to marketing. We have an amazing expert to guide us through our conversation. I'm excited to introduce you all to Jam Anderson. Jam Anderson is the driving force behind Jam AI, dedicated to making AI easy and accessible for everyone. With 20 years of success in traditional marketing, she quickly recognized the power of AI and jumped right in. Now, Jam is all about turning AI complexity into clarity, helping business leaders, entrepreneurs, and marketing pros harness AI without the hassle. Known for her ability to simplify even the most complicated concepts, she's the expert you need to guide you through the AI landscape so you can focus on what you love. She obviously used her AI assistant to write this. Hope you liked it. Hi, Jam. Great to have you here.
Hi, Brittany. Thanks so much for having me back. It's so great to be here, and I'm really excited to share some of this really important knowledge with you all today. I love seeing everybody introduce themselves. We have people from everywhere, and love seeing some of them drop in their businesses as well. We are entering a new era of business where AI, it's no longer a buzzword, it's literally the baseline. The small business owners who win this year, they won't be working harder. They will be working smarter. They are using AI to make faster decisions, create better content, build just more scalable businesses overall. But let's be real, AI is new and it can feel overwhelming, confusing, and even intimidating. So, my goal today is to show you how you can use AI tools inside of real sales and marketing methods. So, anyone can do this, even if you're not techie, you just have to know where to start. So, you don't need to know everything, you just have to take these right first steps. So it's all about action, not perfection, and that's what we're going to go over today. Just a quick look at the agenda. We're going to be talking about what AI is, past and present, talking about personalizing AI into your marketing, how you can use AI tools for your branding. We're going to talk about new ways to learn and then how to keep up. But I should probably introduce you to myself. You might be wondering who I am and why I'm here. So, my name is actually Robin Anderson. Jam has been my nickname for the past 15 years. It comes from a lot of mixture of karaoke and dance moves. And now I'm Mama Jam and Aunt Jam. And I just really love the name. So, I even named my business after it. So I started Jam AI in 2023. Um, After about 17 years working in agencies, I saw that AI was literally about to change everything I was doing. My passion has always been in helping business owners implement technology solutions around sales and marketing so that they can actually focus on the things that they love while moving the needle financially. So, some big wins for me. I've helped a mom and daughter swimsuit shop go from a little garage side biz to now they have multiple stores in their hometown in Florida. Um, just this year, we helped a franchise owner who barely knew how to set up their email, create an entire sales and marketing automation machine. Um, and now my biggest flex is that, at Jam AI, we've created this amazing group of small business owners as members, and we learn together, we solve problems together, and we've actually created a really awesome community, which I'm going to tell you more about at the end of this presentation. But I want to make this all about you, so let's get in there. So you're a small business owner and your plate is really full. You have offers to deliver, content to create, let alone these clients to serve. You may have a family to care for too on the side. So it's really valid for you to ask, like, how am I supposed to learn this whole new thing when I barely have time to eat lunch? But I want you to reframe it as AI isn't really another thing to learn. It's going to be a thing that you're going to figure out to help you do everything else faster. So once you really understand it, you could imagine having a 24/7 strategist, writer, marketing coach, idea machine. It's all ready to help you launch and sell and scale without the burnout. So today is not about adding more to your plate. It's about giving you the tools to actually handle what you already have going on. And I want you to start thinking about the question, what's your why? Why did you start your business or get into the role that you're currently in the first place? One of our members recently told me that she's fulfilled her dream. She's always wanted to create this pottery studio, and now she has it. She has this great brand, a buzzing studio, but she's feeling just completely removed and stuck trying to build her website and create Facebook ads. And she's like, I'm not good at that. I'm good at making ceramics. I'm not good at sending mass emails. They have broken links and typos. So I want you to think about, why did you start your business and write it down because you may have gotten so busy that you may have forgotten why you started this in the first place. And I also want you to think about what is your biggest struggle today? Is it that you have your offer idea outlined, but it's sitting in a Google Doc? Are you posting content, but it's not really hitting right? It's not really bringing in leads? Are you spending a lot of time researching platforms and playing with tools and free trials so you haven't even launched? So if you said yes to any of these, you're not alone. And remember that AI is here to help us get through this. So I want to talk about the old way we used to do business back in 2022, long ago. We used to have to start our business from scratch. We used to have to hire a team or brainstorm with real people. We'd have to hire a web developer sometimes, a designer. We'd spend hours writing content, emails, sales pages, and we'd kind of guess our way through our marketing. We'd guess our way through launches, funnels, strategies, just hoping that something would click or stick. And now with AI, you can build your website in a day. You can build your offer, your brand, your funnel in hours. You can use AI agents that act like your writer or your coach or your strategist. I truly believe that if you have all the right tools in place, you could automate 80% of what used to take you forever so that you can show up where it matters and let these tools kind of do the rest for you. We can now launch, test, and refine so much faster. And let me actually back up a little bit because we have to talk about what AI actually is. So I know some of you in this room may not have ever used it before. Um, so AI, and when we talk about AI, we're talking about LLMs, which are large language models, something like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. That's what most of us are using. I'm going to go over a few other tools today, but those are the ones that people are kind of using when they say AI. But AI at its core, artificial intelligence, is just a software that can think and learn and it can respond like a human instantly 24/7 without needing a coffee break. So you can train it to be your writer, your strategist, your assistant, your marketer. But here's the key. It's a tool. It's not human, and it's not going to replace you or your creativity or your voice or experience. And one of the big things and the feedback that I get as I've done keynotes all over the country is people are resisting it because they're worried that it's going to replace them or replace these creative individuals. And I want you to take that out of your mind right now and say, it's not going to replace these people. It's a tool to help them express their ideas faster and smarter. And these designers that have harnessed how to use AI in their design, they can now create quicker, they can create more. And it's really just an execution tool with you at the helm. So you're steering it. You're still making the decisions. AI is just giving you more clarity and speed and less guesswork. So I want to talk about just how we got here too and zoom out because this did not just happen overnight. I keep saying way back in 2022, like it's so long ago, but in this landscape, it is like a whole other world. But AI in 2022 was kind of futuristic, and people thought that it was like in sci-fi movies, high-tech labs. And then 2023, very early on, we saw that tools like ChatGPT and Bard went out to the public. And that's when people were starting to be able to use it in their own homes. By the end of 2023, so just 10 months later, we saw the AI market explode to over $241 billion. It was pretty much an overnight success. One third of companies started using generative AI like ChatGPT, at least in one area of their business. The the industry that I thought was most interesting for adoption was actually manufacturing. They were the largest to adopt AI first, um, and they're still growing. They're the largest industry to adopt AI. So that's when we realized AI was not a trend, it's just kind of what it is. And fast forward, it's all gas, no brakes. We've seen models like ChatGPT 4.0 and Google's Gemini be in pretty much everyone's hands on our phones. There's major global events like the Super AI conference in Singapore. There's innovation everywhere. There's multimodal AI that understands text, images, voice, and video. And yes, there are some AI robots. I don't know if you guys have seen, Kim Kardashian walking around with her Tesla robot, but it's happening and it's here. So the question isn't, is AI for me? The question is, how fast do I want to adapt and how do I start? And many of you have felt like this lady here. I made her an AI, but I'm sure she feels very overwhelmed because that's what I told her to look like. Uh, so it's like, where do you start? You can Google AI for writing, AI for video, and all these things come out. And it's not your imagination. In 2023, 14,700 AI tools hit the market. And now in 2025, the number's at 57,933. But I pulled that number like a couple weeks ago. So it's probably even higher now. So an increase of 294%. So how do you know where to start? I'm lucky because I have a team of really smart people that help me review tools and report back to me each week on what to try and also what to avoid. So we put together lists of AI tools for our members and they change monthly. But the thing I want you to really understand today is that you can use these tools and you could create images and you could write books, but it's all about applying real sales and marketing frameworks and methodologies to these tools. Otherwise, you're just creating a bunch of content that nobody will ever read. So again, that's what I want you to learn today. Not so much about AI tools that you can play with, but we're going to learn real sales and marketing fundamentals that you can bring into these tools. Before we do anything, I need to show you how we can customize and personalize our AI tools to make creating content for our prospects so much better. So here is a QR code for our chatbot training. And as Brittany mentioned earlier, she is going to follow up with a link, and this is on the page she's following up with. So if you can't do it right now, don't worry. And this is a questionnaire. It takes anywhere from about 20 minutes to a couple hours to fill out. It's just based on how much you want to put in. But once you fill this out, it'll change the way that you interact with ChatGPT or Claude or whatever LLM that you want to use. So now that when you have that set up, you can go in and you can use it in a GPT or custom GPT. You may be wondering why I said GPT so much, and I'm sorry about that, but it's all out there. It's in everything. So a GPT is basically a custom AI agent, and I am going to show you how to do that. But I want to do it in a specific way. So There's multiple platforms where you can create AI agents these days. We're going to stick with ChatGPT just because it's the most commonly used platform. And I do want you all to be able to go and walk away and do this after this webinar today. So we'll do this in real time, but first I want to create an ICP with you. But first I have to tell you what that is. So an ICP is an ideal client profile. At every agency I ever worked within, this was the first thing we would develop for our clients. You have to have this right before you can create any content or create or do one sales phone call. And let me ask you something. What do you think the number one reason most people fail at prospecting? It's not their script, it's not their outreach method, and it's not even their AI tools. It's that they're talking to the wrong people. They're throwing darts in the dark and they're wondering why nothing is sticking. They're spending hours reaching out to prospects who will never buy, running LinkedIn automations, cold emails, ads, wasted on people who don't care, don't need, or don't have the budget for whatever you're selling. So that's why prospecting can feel like a grind instead of actually a well-oiled machine. So to get this part right, you really have to understand who your ideal client is. And once you do that, everything gets easier. Your messaging clicks, your outreach converts, and your sales cycle will shorten. We used to do like a 3-week process to help determine who people's ideal client profile is. And now we can do it in literally just a few minutes. I'm actually going to stop sharing my presentation and share my other screen here. We're going to go into ChatGPT. You find a fresh one. Okay, so we're here in ChatGPT, and if any of you have not used this before, just a quick little tour. This is where you put in your prompt. This is where you can customize your account. It's funny that when I do this, some of the first questions I get is around how my background is white. So simple things like that are in the settings area. You can change your theme to light. You can personalize it. You can give it custom instructions and tell it who you are and what your business is all about. And that's just a nice way to make sure it's speaking to you the way you want. Okay, so we're going to develop our ideal client profile. There's 3 different ways that we could do this. So if I was a beginner, I'd go in and I just would say, help me to create my ideal client profile. And once I send that, it'll probably ask me some questions about my business. And basically, this is using ChatGPT as a blank slate. So ChatGPT is trained on the internet. It's trained on previous conversations that it's had. And it's basically taking everything from the internet to help answer your questions. So, if I did this in 2023 versus now, the response I'm getting is amazing. I didn't have to write a big crazy prompt. I didn't have to, give it a lot of information, and it knows what ICP is. It's very smart out of the box. However, there's ways to make it even smarter. So what I would like to do is go ahead and use a custom GPT that we built just for creating an ideal client profile. So I'm going to click over here, and now you can see that this is not just regular ChatGPT, it's a ideal client profile builder. So if I say, help me make ICP, it'll ask me different questions because this one has been trained based on a specific marketing methodology that we've developed over time and that we've basically used frameworks from experts in the industry. So it's asking all these questions, but because I've already filled out my setup document, the thing that I showed you with the QR code, I can just simply upload my document and say, this has everything you need. So basically, it's reading everything about, I've answered all the questions about my product, my business. And so it's giving me all of these really personal attributes, professional attributes. You may be wondering why it's important to know what their hobbies might be, or if they own a home, or if they like pets. And a lot of this is based on it's guessing. But the reason that's important is because when you're creating your marketing strategy, you're going to be using your ICP information and data. And when you go to the Meta platform or Google and you want to run an ad, you can run an ad for people who own homes. You can run an ad for people based on a certain age. You can even run ads on their relationship status. So that's why it's so important. I'm gonna let y'all take a look at this so I have a quick sip. So I would basically take this and then I would ask it more questions. There's a lot of information here, right? Goes and goes and goes. I would say, what is a DM, direct message, I could send a prospect on LinkedIn? Now, in my document that I uploaded, I have multiple different products. So, if I was really doing this, I would say, hey, I want to get more speaking opportunities. Give me a direct message for my business. But you can see it's doing this specifically based on how this chatbot, this AI GPT, is trained on writing this type of stuff. So if I went to that other one and said, give me a DM I could use on LinkedIn, it probably won't follow the same tone and use the same length of message. So I do want to show you quickly how to build these because I'm always shocked at how many people have not built custom GPTs before. So all you do is you click on your name, and you do have to have the Plus membership to build your own, but you don't have to have that. You can use the free version to use them. So you just go to My GPTs and you simply just click on it. And it's actually so easy because you could go to create and you could just type in what you want it to do. So you could say, I want a GPT that will help me put together logo ideas. So you could just talk back and forth with it, and you could see this little wrench as if it's building the GPT. It always wants to ask for a name and a logo, gets really interested in that for some reason. So it makes a profile picture and a name. And then over here on the right-hand side is where you can test it out and see if you like it. But you can see if you hit configure, it's actually put in the name, description, and it wrote instructions on what it should do. Now, the really cool part and where you can customize it is you can upload files. So say you're a graphic designer and you work specifically for, I don't know, let's say you work specifically in the light bulb industry. So you would upload knowledge around your company specifically. And then when you go to use it, it's applying these instructions to your knowledge source, to your company. Another maybe better example is I work with a franchise and they were just starting up. And when you work with a franchise, they give you about 125 million bazillion documents about their brand, their marketing, their go-to-market strategy, things about your geography. So they were able to upload all of that into their knowledge. And so then they could say, theirs would be a social media content creator. They put all that stuff into their knowledge base, and then they would just come over here and say, create me an Instagram post, and it would know everything. So it would just go ahead and do it. If you don't have the free version, you can go to Explore GPTs. So it's chatgpt.com/GPTs. And you can just type for whatever you want, and it will come up with other people's GPTs that you can use. So I like to tell people to kind of think of this as the App Store for Apple products. So, like, I showed you the ICP creator that we built, but there's multiple ICP creators by other people. So I'm going to go back to my presentation and talk a little bit more about that. All right, so now we have our ICP. And again, like I said, we could do more connecting with it in that same chat. So, like I said, give me a DM, but you can also say, where does my ICP find solutions to their problems? What sort of communities, websites, LinkedIn groups, or podcasts do they engage with? You may be asking why I care. Again, that's where I would go and run ads. That's where I would spend my marketing budget, is where my ICP is spending their time. So, how do you connect with your ICP now? Like, we can talk all day about chatting with, Chat GPT and sending messages, but again, back to these really solid marketing methodologies. I want to show you this funnel. This is called the customer journey or the tofu, mofu, bofu, whatever you want to call it. But basically, we have the top of funnel, and this is where people find you. So they're problem aware, they're searching, and you're hopefully educating with things like blog posts, social media posts, your podcast, paid ads. It's where they discover you. The middle of the funnel, they know who you are, and now you need to warm them up while they consider their options. So this is a big area of offers and lead magnets, which we're going to talk about in a minute, but the middle of the funnel is the most important part. So this is where you may see things like downloadable products or quizzes and things like that. The bottom of the funnel is they are ready to make a decision. They are ready to buy. They just need that final push. So this is where you could do the coupon code. You could do the one-on-one call, but this is where you push them to actually make a decision. So before AI, it was slow to create this content. This type of thing would be a 6-month, $50,000 engagement with some of our clients at different agencies. It'd be hard to customize the message by audience segment. Again, it was expensive, hard to test, and it was time sucking, writing these emails and ad scripts all manually. So now with AI, we can build the whole funnel. We can be smarter, we can personalize it, and it's so much cheaper to just test and try things out. So let's see. Let's talk about some top of funnel prompts. So you could do a pop-up for first-time visitors. If any of you went to my website, you may have seen that. Interactive social media campaign. All of these are just some prompts that you could use. But again, and I'm going to go back and show you some of these. There are already custom GPTs. If you type in tofu, they'll come up and you could just use those. They're pre-prompted, pre-trained on marketing methodologies. So the lead magnet or top of offer, this is where you really get a chance to connect with somebody who's interested in your services or your products. Because even if you're a B2B company and you're trying to get that first phone call and your call to action is like, let's book a Zoom call, it's probably not going well for you. Nobody wants to just book a Zoom call, unfortunately, unless they're super interested in what you do and have already, read an email or something from you before. But you want to offer them something. And there is a author named Alex Hermosi, who he has a book called $100 Million Offers. He has a podcast that's really popular. and a company called acquisition.com where he basically builds small businesses. So, of course, we're going to take a break again, reshare another screen. So, of course, he has his own custom GPT. And actually, it's not his. Someone else built it, but he has so much content out between his books and his podcast, and he has like thousands of YouTube channels out there. So he has somebody, our code provider LTD, we can see, um, created this Alex Hermosi GPT. There isn't a better GPT than this. I would never try to remake it to come up with offers and email funnels for your business. So I would again upload my setup document. And this time I'm going to be a little bit more thoughtful in my prompt. And I'm going to say, help me create a top of funnel offer for my product. Um, I'll have it be Club Jam, I guess. And then I'm going to ask for a 6-step email funnel after. And I'll explain what that is. So basically, while he's doing this for me, I'll let you know that he'll create this top of funnel offer. And then the 6-step email funnel is basically touch points over about 3 to 4 weeks of where we're in contact with that prospect. And the goal for me is always to provide help and show that I'm a subject matter expert in whatever they're looking for. Not so much trying to sell, 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 sell. So let's see, he's giving me this idea of the jam session starter kit. So prompt packs, launch in a weekend, mini training video. Yeah, that all seems fun. And okay, then the 6-step email funnel. So he's got that all. And you can see these are not all written out. So if I liked this idea, which I actually don't like this one, but if I liked it, I would say, let's go in and flesh this out, write my offer funnel, which is a landing page into a thank you page, and then into write every email, write every email for me. Now, I'll tell you, I think that if you use these, people can tell. So I do like to use these as pretty much my first draft. And then I'll go back and I do like to rewrite my own stuff, even though I've trained multiple chatbots to sound like me and they do. I'm just a control freak. So I like to make sure I have my hands on everything there. Um, you may be asking yourself, well, okay, I can make this PDF, but it'll look like crap. So I want to just give a quick shout out, and this is actually in my next slide here as well, right here in tech stacks that we're going to talk about. Canva. So I know most of you probably use Canva, but I found out through my members that not a lot of you knew how to create these brand templates. And so basically you go and you hit brand and you have brand kits and you can put in all of your colors, your logos, any sort of pictures or text fonts that you use. And then when you go and create a design, like say you want to do, I don't know, let's just do this just for fun. Say we want to make like an Instagram ad. I can just hit brand and just click on my colors and it'll continue to use my brand really easily. Throw him out. And then you could just, upload whatever picture, background remover, and you could really, really easily just have something that's branded for you. I just wanted to show you this because they have so many different designs, everything from, like I just showed you, the Instagram ads to the top of funnel offer that you're building. Type in offer and all of these different, here, I'll show you all of these different templates will come up. So let's do offer. Hmm. But yeah, any of these things, these are sales, but yeah, you just click on templates and you could shop around and see, oh, education is what I was looking for. So annual report, you could create this whole thing. You just hit customize template, proposals, pretty much anything you could create a brand and look really, really professional using Canva. Um, as far as website tools and automation tools, um, we use Kajabi, but there's also things like Active Campaign, HubSpot, MailChimp, GMass. These are things that once you have your offer created, you can use these tools to do mass emails and send them out. So if you have, like one of ours is 100 AI prompts. So 100 AI prompts for small business owners specifically. So we could send that out in a mass email to hundreds of people, and then they get to our offer page and they fill out a form. We now have their information and they're in our email database. I do want to show you just a few of what these might look like to give you some ideas as well. These are not, I wanted to show you some that were not mine. So this is one giving you free access to a cheat sheet, um, 18 ways to edit smarter, not harder, a free podcasting tool, plan a year of revenue generating content in an hour, uh, free flashcard deck. I don't know, hopefully these might give you some ideas. Take the free quiz. So things like that, they're very easy to make. It depends on what type of CMS you're using. Again, Squarespace is a really easy tool. A lot of our members are using that. Wix, GoDaddy, they all have really easy WYSIWYGs, which is what you see is what you get, kind of do it yourself um, backends. We also just want to say we do offer the AI Business Bootcamp, and this is where we go over literally every single one of these tools and how to integrate all of these solutions to create your digital presence that's really seamless. Because once you have that, adding things like pages and funnels is just as easy as crafting an email. And then just prospecting, we use something called Seamless AI, and it allows you to grab a lot of different email addresses. It is a paid for program, but if you're looking to get a very specific niche, it's a great way to filter and actually buy email addresses to get in touch with people. LinkedIn Navigator is a great way. And then I wanted to put Pipedrive in here because Pipedrive is a really affordable and awesome CRM that we've been using and a lot of our members use. And it also allows you to put in templates. So you could add somebody from LinkedIn, they go to Pipedrive, and then you could send them one of your pre-written emails. So it's just pretty easy. All right, quick time check here. I want to talk through push versus pull marketing. This is another marketing fundamental that I just want everyone to know what it is. So push marketing is you go to them. So these are things like cold emails, cold calls, flyers. They could create short spikes in traffic, but sometimes they're high cost and short-term focus. Pull marketing means they come to you. This is more like educational content. So those lead magnets, testimonials, case studies, SEO, they're slower up front, but it really builds your brand's trust and makes you look like a subject matter expert. So AI helps us do these a lot better now. Obviously, we can do both sides. We can write sales scripts. We can write our emails, our blogs, pretty much everything. But I do want to talk about a new kind of pull marketing that AI has helped us create. And now that I know about it, and I've known about it for the past like 6 months. I taught my members, and now everybody's making these. And basically, it's a very personalized offer. So let's do this, for example. So if you go to a fitness website, it used to say like 10-day or download our 10-day workout plan. Well, now it's fill out this short survey. We want to learn about you, and we'll create a custom workout plan for you. So now people are getting this really awesome piece of content that's trained for them. You may be like, Jan, that sounds really hard. It's not. It's actually really easy. It's just 5 steps. So we use ChatGPT, Typeform, and we use something called Zapier, but make.com is also just fine to use. So starting at the top, this is the Typeform form. So you enter your name, you answer about 6 questions, and then all those answers will go to this is ChatGPT's open AI platform. So if you have ChatGPT, you have access to this. And basically, this is where you can build assistants and connect them to other things. So basically, this chatbot is being trained, just like that GPT I showed you earlier. This one's being trained to take in all of the answers from Typeform, and then it's going to use top tier fitness coaching trends of 2025 and provide that person a workout plan based on their answers. So after that, it goes from Typeform to ChatGPT, which you just saw. Then it goes through like a formatter, so it looks nice, and then it connects to your email. But this is real time, so it takes like 2 seconds. And I filled it out, and now I have this, workout plan for 2 weeks and a nutrition plan as well. You all will get to try this because in the link that Brittany's providing, we're giving you the custom prompt guide for your company. And so it's the same thing. It's a type form into ChatGPT that has been trained to create custom prompts based on all the information that you give it. So you'll get like 40 to 50 custom prompts for your business. So there's a lot of tools we didn't cover today, but I want to just talk about how AI is saving people so much money. You can see this is what people used to have to pay for. And this is based on really low estimates. So about $10,000 a month, $116,000 a year to run your business without AI. And now we have all of these tools that do everything that was listed in that last screen. And it's $197 a month for these tools. So design, video, prospecting, email, so just stuff like that. Yeah, it's really wild, and it's important to know what's going on. I do want to just tell you a little bit about Club Jam before we wrap up, if that's okay. Club Jam is not a course. It's a platform community with access to AI agents and on-demand training. So it's really for people who are trying to scale and learn, but feel kind of burnt out. We give you everything that you need to start, automate, and monetize. You don't have to be a coder, copywriter, or tech wizard. What happened was in 2023, we started creating different types of products. So we had like AI training, and then we built that 4-week boot camp, and then we built our platform. And then this jam method is basically the just start, automate, monetize, which is forms you fill out to build your business. And what happened was it kind of became a lot of different things, and people wanted to try all of them. They didn't know where to start. So we just put them all under one umbrella with the Club Jam. And it's been really fun because it also comes with a community. And so we meet every Friday morning live. We'll do a accountability call and we answer questions and kind of trade things that we've learned that week. Um, we did turn it off to just have people apply because we really want to make sure that we can show up and support everyone who's in it. But we would love to meet you, and we are currently accepting new members. There is usually an enrollment fee, but we are waiving that until Friday. The link that Brittany's sending you also has some information about this. But yeah, if you're ready to take action, it would be so fun to meet you all and learn more about your business. So hope to hear from you. If you don't want to do that, you just want the training or the platform, you could browse around our site and those are totally available for purchase at any time. So I think that's all I have. Thank you so much for having me. I know we can get to some questions now.
Awesome. Yes. Amber is going to share a link to Jam's free resources. And then I know a couple people were asking about all of the different um, AIs that you talked about today, the different platforms and whatnot, and that's really easy to find at the top, so you guys can go find that. And if you can't grab it because you're in the conversation right now, and you don't want to leave, don't worry, that information will be in the follow-up. And if you watch the YouTube video, you want to, rewatch, it'll be in the description as well. So we did get a couple of questions. One question was when you were creating those ICPs,
Mhm.
ideal client profiles, are those private to you or like to whoever's using it, or are those public to everyone?
Yeah, great question. Those are private, so nobody can see what you're creating. Um, when you create a custom GPT, you can decide whether or not you want that to be public or private. So you can see my GPTs. Some say only me, some say anyone with a link. So I create these just for myself or for my clients or members. So then they share it with each other. Um, if you share it publicly, it then goes to that GPT store that we saw, which was this one, I believe, the one where we were looking for this one. So these are all people who developed them and made them public. However, the conversations within these, those are always private.
Mm, that is super helpful to know.
Mhm.
That especially because I think there's a lot of questions about where does my information go, or can
Yes.
folks look up those things. Okay, a lot of people were asking, because it seemed like you were working in the plus version of ChatGPT or the paid version.
True.
Do you know if are ICPs or some of those custom GPTs available to folks who are in the free version right now?
Yes, so those are available in the free version. The plus version means you can make your own. So you can't make your own AI agent or custom GPT without that plus account. So make
Got
sure
it.
you have.
Okay. So you still have access to that app store, it sounds like, but you just can't create your own to your business. Um, let's see. Uh, Someone asked at the beginning, do you have any suggestions for AI tools when it comes to rebuilding or designing a website?
Yeah, at Canva, actually, I know that I keep going back to it, but they do have a web design feature now with AI. And depending on what platform you use, you can really easily bring what you build in Canva to your website. But if you're not going to do that, Squarespace also has AI tools inside its platform. So I would suggest using those too.
Okay.
That and if you're asking about these AI web builders, trying to think of a few names of them, we are exploring those, but we haven't had good luck with any of them yet to actually say yes, go and use this.
Yeah, so that's super helpful. So if you utilizing the AI tools and already established some of these bigger name brands, Canva, of course. What was the other one you just said?
Squarespace.
Squarespace. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Someone asked about pitch decks because you really took us through how
Mhm.
AI can bring a lot of clarity to your offer, to your pitch, even to your emails. Do you have any suggestions? I guess question number one is, can it create a pitch deck for you? And I might be jumping ahead by saying yes, because I feel like it can do anything for us. And do you have any suggestions to where people can go for that?
So, yeah, I like to use ChatGPT to write the content for my pitch decks. And then I use Canva because I have such an established brand and identity. However, there is another one that I've used before called Beautiful AI. And they make really great pitch decks. They're really pretty, but they also write the content for you. So it seems like if I was presenting, I'd want to be in charge of what I'm saying to people. So just make sure you double check that.
Yes, super great point.
Hmm.
This question, would love just like your insight or where if we can go anywhere. This question is asking, can you trademark an AI generated logo?
Okay, so this question I get a lot, and actually the answer is a state by state regulation, which is crazy enough. Um, you could use AI generated art. However, there are some rules and regulations state by state when you're going to use that art in paid advertising.
Oh.
So, like, we were just working with Park City as a destination, and they have an event coming up, and they used AI to create pictures of the event that they didn't have yet. And they found out that they could not run those ads because it was generated art. So I would say there's a tool called perplexity.ai, and it is an AI search tool. And that is trustworthy for finding updated laws and things, whereas ChatGPT does not give you up-to-date information like that.
Ooh, okay, super helpful. So you want to check Perplexity AI, depending on your state. So that is helpful in knowing if you're looking into paid advertisements, to check there. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of questions in the chat. Oh, I think Amber might be dropping it in, but the link to the pitch deck, or sorry, not the link. What site did you recommend for pitch deck creating?
Oh, beautiful.ai.
Okay, amazing. Okay, and yes, Perplexity AI. Sorry, I'm seeing a question in the chat. I'm just going to answer it. Perplexity AI is where you can go to check what the state regulations are for paid advertising.
Yeah.
Um, so let's
It's
see.
like the new Google. You could always Google it too, but Perplexity is the new Google.
Perplexity is the new Google.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. And I thought that was really helpful when you said ChatGPT doesn't have up-to-date information,
Yeah.
but Perplexity AI does. I have noticed when I'll ask ChatGPT about a date, it'll be wrong. So maybe that's like it doesn't know what day of the week it is because maybe it's a little bit in the past. Um,
Yeah. So basically, just to answer that, like to elaborate on that, you'll see that there's different versions of ChatGPT coming out all the time. Like there was 3.5, now there's 4.0, now we're on like the fifth version of 4.0. It takes 9 months to update a version of ChatGPT, so they're always working. But you can't ask it things like stock market, weather, sports scores, things like that.
love that. Okay. Okay, this is incredibly helpful. I think somebody really hit the nail on the head when they said, I feel like I need all my attention and focus because it's so vast. There's so much information that you can learn, and we could go probably for a full 4 straight hours just talking about all the different AI and all it can do for you. But we unfortunately are at the top of the hour, so we don't
Yeah.
have another 4 hours. But I want to assure everyone that the resources and the recording will be sent to you in the next couple of days. We've also dropped information on how you can check out Jam. Even I think she we had her email here. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat as well because she was gracious enough to pass that on to everyone who's here live. So thank you so much, Jam, for coming back again and sharing how we can incorporate AI and showing us that real-time information. It was so helpful. We hope to have you back again to keep taking us on this journey. And I want to thank every single business owner. We know you are busy. We know there's so much you have to do in your day. And taking an hour to come here, we really appreciate it. And we hope you found something that's helpful for you to integrate into your marketing for your business. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, everyone. We will see
Thank
you
you.
all in the next one.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Have a great rest of your week.